All right. Well, Mike, look, this is exciting. This has been a long time in the making. This is something that began last year after a number of people got in touch about the Lions Club song with a couple of comments about the current version. The first was that it was done as a bit of a rushed job in the 90s when the merger occurred, recorded using electric instruments rather than the real deal and, sounding a little bit tinny occasionally as a result. And the second was the fact that it was sung by an only male chorus, which I think was understandable in the 90s, but in the modern age of, two teams, one club, it just does feel a little bit more and more inappropriate. I remember watching, being at Springfield last year, hearing the girls run out to a song sung just by men. Something about it just feels like a missed opportunity, I guess is what I'd say.
And we've got the two teams at the club now, and they're both under the same building. And as a supporter of the club, you're as invested with the women's club. We get to the end of the men's season, and we're like, right, we've got the women's team now to support.
Yes.
And, just an integral part of the club, and I'm with you. It does just feel a bit, doesn't quite feel right.
So look, it was the team at the Lions Roar. These are the guys famous for banishing the paddle pop line from the Guernsey and bringing back the traditional jumper a decade or so ago. They've taken the lead on this. I guess it's an experiment to see, is there a way we could take everything we love about the current club song and bring it to life in 2026 in a sort of a revamped way? And, along the way, there's been some other thoughts. Could we include the cool instrumental break in the middle of the old Fitzroy song? Because the current version doesn't give a lot of room for that breakdown. It's just sort of one verse into a repeat of the verse. And could we make sure we hold on to the rock feel of the 90s version rather than something that sounds too much like the other Victorian club songs? Could we make sure it's produced by Queensland musicians and singers? There's been a lot of thoughts going on, a lot of meetings. It's our audio guy, James North, who has been piloting this, and he's put a mountain of work into this experiment in the back end. He really is the best in the state at this stuff. And we're going to play the entirety of the new Brisbane Lions, or the revamped Brisbane Lions club song for you in a minute. But to begin with, James North wanted to give a little bit of a background just to talk everyone through the process and where the thinking's come from. Then we'll play you the song and have a chat about it on the other side. But here's James North.
Hey folks, this is James North here. I thought I'd just give a bit of a rundown on the progress of the club song. We're at a really good point at the moment, and I guess for those of you who aren't necessarily, strongly behind the idea, I'd love to present to you the some sort of alternating versions where we'll be able to hear what the current song sounds like and what our alternative one sounds like. And I think once you hear that, you'll sort of understand what it could sound like. And I think the club, considering how successful it's been in the last sort of handful of years, deserves a really good song. It deserves something that's fresh and updated, but still familiar and traditional. That was a very, very fine line that we had to sort of tread between, the two sort of things that we've got happening, which is the 90s version that a lot of people know and love from the wins that we hear, and the Fitzroy version, which was talked about quite a while ago as well, as having a little bit more of a better football vibe. Now, what we've tried to do, I guess, with all of the musicians and singers involved is try to, tread that line as well as possible. And we're not going to make everybody happy with it. We're very aware of that. And in fact, all of us have got differing opinions on, how the final thing ought to sound, including me. So I guess this version that we hear is one that's come from a lot of thought. I think the energy behind it is spot on. I think the performances are wonderful, and I'm pretty happy with it. So what I'm going to do first up here is I'm going to alternate between the old song and the proposed new one in different sections of the song. So what we have initially here is the intro. So you'll hear the intro of the current Brisbane Lions song and then our intro straight after it. And you'll hear that with different sections on the other examples as well. So here we go. This is the intro of the original one and then the intro of ours. Okay, so I think that's a good improvement. I hope everyone can hear that. You can hear that the horns are still there, the fanfare horns, and so is the electric guitar. I really thought that was important to keep because that's in the 90s version that we've got at the moment, and it's great. It sounds really cool. Here is a little bit of the verse. We are
pride of Brisbane town, we wear maroon, blue and gold. We are the pride of Brisbane town, we wear maroon, blue and gold.
So you can hear that we've lent into the Fitzroy feel a little bit. We've still got some electric guitar coming up, but we do also have the wonderful sounding mixed choir, which I think is a great feature. It's not as narrow sounding, it's a lot richer, and I think it sounds really cool. Here is the kind of pre-chorus bit.
One and one for all, we will answer to the call. Go Lions. One and one for all, we will answer to the call.
Okay, that's got a bit more energy, I think. And then we have the chorus, the Go Lions, Brisbane Lions bit. Actually, also, this bit will play the Fitzroy instrumental after the new version of the chorus. Dom will play the whole version after my little spiel here, but I thought I'd just have a little bit of it after this. So you'll hear the original 90s version of the chorus, our new version of the chorus, and then a little bit of the Fitzroy instrumental after that.
Go Lions, Brisbane Lions, we'll kick the winning score. You'll hear a mighty roar. Brisbane Lions, we'll kick the winning score. You'll hear a mighty roar.
Okay, so there we go. That's the end of the chorus in both of them, and you heard a little bit of the Fitzroy instrumental that would happen between the two verses or the two sort of refrains of the lyrics that you hear. So next up, I'll show you the very end of the song, original one first, new one second.
You'll hear a mighty roar. You'll hear a mighty roar. You'll hear a mighty roar. You'll hear a mighty roar.
There you have it. I think it's a really worthwhile thing to have done, and I'm really stoked with where we got to. The one thing I'd like to do still is I would like to mention all of the people that were involved that weren't me. So, in terms of the instrumentation. So I did play some stuff on it. I played the electric guitar and some piano and acoustic and bass and whatever, but a whole lot of other people were involved in it as well, and I'd like to mention them. So we had from the JMI Jazz Music Institute at Bowen Hills, run by Nick Quigley. He organised the day that we did the horns, and Andrew Garton did the arrangement of the horns as well, which is absolutely stunning and very influenced by the Fitzroy one, but also very true to the 90s Brisbane Lions one as well. So we got on trombone, Zoe Atkinson. On trombone, we had Mikhail Strand, Shannon Marshall, Diggs on trumpet, Dan Quigley, brother of Nick, on trumpet, Alyssa Sinclair on trumpet, Nick Quigley on the upright bass as well, and he organised the day, as I said. Gary Eldershaw on drums, and Andrew Garton did the arrangement. And for the vocals, we had a bunch of people. We got Lincoln Scott, Michelle Ball, Anthony Jenny, a guy called James, who's a cool dude, and my wife Lix actually did some vocals on it as well because she's a killer singer too. So that's the personnel involved in the recording, and there's a lot of people there, and you can sort of see where the fees went to. So there we go. I really wanted to get them involved too, and the guys at JMI were really wonderful to work with. I really encourage anyone who wanted to learn music or learn jazz to learn through the JMI method, because Nick and Dan's dad, Greg, actually taught me sort of a whole bunch about jazz and music in the 90s, and it's been very influential on me having a long career in music. So anyway, over to Dom now. He can do the honours of playing the entire thing. Thanks, folks.
So there's James North setting the context, and this is, I think, gives you a window into how in-depth this process has been, how many back and forths, how intricate it has been. But we're now going to give you the very first play of the whole revamped Brisbane Lions Club song. So imagine you're at the Gabba this Saturday night, and this full, rich version plays out from the Gabba PA.
The pride of Brisbane town, we wear maroon, blue and gold. We will always fight for victory, like Fitzroy and Bears of old. All to the call. Go Lions, Brisbane Lions, we'll kick the winning score. You'll hear a mighty roar. You'll hear a mighty roar.
Well, there we have it. That is
Wow.
the debut of the revamped Brisbane Lions Club song. And I imagine right now, like with any suggested possible change, I'm speaking to a widely split listenership. Some people who are probably turning it up to max volume and going, that's the new club song. And others who are already 3 sentences into their angry email about how dare we tamper with the club's great classic at the moment. I realize this stuff is divisive, but what an experiment. And I love it. As far as I'm concerned, the sound there, the full instrumentation,
The instruments are unbelievable.
aren't they brilliant?
I don't. So I'm not going to speak on behalf of everyone, but like listening to it, I went in with no preconceived ideas. Yes, it's been I think experiment, is that the word you
Yep.
used? Which is right. Sort of run through our podcast to some extent. We're not just here to pump it up for the sake of it. Like I went in with open eye, and the instruments are unbelievable.
Yep.
I think you'd be hard pressed to find someone that's arguing against that
Yes.
side of things. The vocals are the probably slightly more jarring change to
Yep.
what we're used to, because we've been used to one way for however many years.
Mm.
But I really liked it too.
Mm.
I don't think it would take me many listens to be fully on board with that, and I wasn't sure I was going to feel that way, to be honest.
Okay. What do you make of the instrumental break in the middle? Because that's my favorite bit.
Oh, I loved it.
I love it so.
Loved it.
Because to me, when you're at the game and it's just finished and the song's sort of blasted out, at the moment it feels like we just keep singing and then it repeats
It does.
itself.
It's just a loop, a loop, a loop, a loop, a loop. Yeah.
Whereas that middle breakdown, that's where you sort of turn to the person next to you and go, what about that, Mark? That was
Yep.
so good. Oh, we're singing again now. Here
Yep.
we go. So I love, and I think the best club songs do have a bit of an instrumental breakdown in the middle. I love that it was the Fitzroy one, but with a bit of the rock of the 90s
Yep.
version brought into it as well. I mean, I think what that is the brilliant club song the club has brought into 2026. That's my sense.
James mentioned it,
Mm.
and I reckon he's nailed it. Like, it's a difficult line to tread,
Yeah.
isn't it? And I'm not a muso by any stretch, but you can tell the nod to the heritage and the tradition.
Yes.
But it does feel like it's got a contemporary feel to it. So, like, honestly, whether you like it or not, it's an unbelievable job by James and all of those wonderful artists that he gave credit to there. So, first, thanks so much to the artists that
Yes.
produce that. Fantastic. Certainly a worthwhile experiment. I'm really keen to hear the feedback.
Yeah,
Genuinely,
yeah.
positive, negative, whatever. It's your voice. You,
100%.
You tell us.
And we never, like, I think we mentioned the Paddle Pop Lion Guernsey earlier. One thing I think all Lions fans would be very big on is pushing change that is not wanted is something none of us are in favour of.
No.
This is an experiment we're throwing out there.
It's an option, right?
Yep. And it could be an option that people might go, that's the song. Let's all meet at Springfield tomorrow and we'll campaign for it. People might go, well, this starts the conversation and maybe we could try it with this thing in there or whatever else, but it opens the door. Who knows where it goes from here, but we do want to hear what you think. And so if you head to therawdeal.com/club song, you can hear them back to back there and you can cast your vote. We've just got a very simple poll there about which one you prefer. Comments as well. If you want to make a comment, please remember when making comments, we're not trying to push anything here. We're not trying to force anything to anyone. We're just genuinely keen to hear what people think. If there is a strong showing of support in the votes for the revamped version, then we can have a chat about some possible next steps and maybe try to get the CEO or the chairman in here for a bit of a conversation around what this even looks like. But if it is a pretty even result or a strong showing of support for the current version, we can maybe park this one here as a fun experiment that we had a question, we got an answer, and on we go. And, we can listen to that one in our own time for the rest of our time as Lions fans. So, what an incredible little journey. What a project. And I just love hearing something new like that.
Yeah, it was unreal. So this started it would be nearly 12 months ago.
Yeah, it would have been, I think.
It would be nearly 12 months ago. So to think that that's the end result, amazing, so worthwhile going through this process, and can't wait to hear what you all think.
Absolutely.
Get in touch, jump on our website, vote, give us some feedback, and I guess we'll let everyone know what the results are in the coming weeks.
therawdeal.com/club song to have your say.